discuss about the structure of the atom, how the atom is made, how the atom is formed. Atoms are made up of particles called protons, neutrons, and electrons, which are responsible for the mass and the charge of the atom. These are responsible for the mass and the charge of the atom. At the end of this discussion, the students should be able to understand the structure of the atom, list the components of the atom, identify the charge of the subatomic particles, define atomic number, mass number, etc. So you'll be able to know these things at the end of the discussion. Key terms. Let's define our terms first. So what's atom? The smallest possible amount of matter which still remains its identity as a chemical element, consists of a nucleus surrounded by electrons, by shells within which we have electrons, right? So if you divide an element, for example, hydrogen or sodium or magnesium or you name it, and you divide it and you divide it and you divide it, the last part that can still represent that particular element is atom. It has a nucleus and shells, right? Surrounded by electrons means the electrons are found in the shells. So there is a nucleus and there is shells. Proton is positively charged subatomic particle forming part of the nucleus of an atom and determining the atomic number of an element. So proton is found in the nucleus alongside the neutron, right? It's positively charged. It has another name, the atomic number, right? The atomic number. Neutron is a subatomic particle forming part of the nucleus. As I've said, in the nucleus we have proton and neutron. It has no charge. Electron is negatively charged subatomic particle found in the shells of an atom. It's usually found in the shells. In the center, if this is the atom, in the center we have the nucleus. In the nucleus we have the neutrons. These ones which do not have the charge, and the protons which are positively charged. Around the nucleus we have the shells. In the shells we have, this is shell, right? This is shell. This is shell. So in the shell we have electrons which are negatively charged. You see the minus here. They are negatively charged, right? So electrons are negatively charged subatomic particles found in the shells of an atom. Mass number, the sum of the number of protons and the number of neutrons in an atom. Mass number, you just add the number of protons of the atom and the number of neutrons in the atom. Atomic number, as I've just said, is the number of protons in an atom. The number of protons in an atom is called atomic number. Atom. An atom is the smallest unit of matter that retains all of the chemical properties of an element. Right? Atoms combine to form molecules which then interact to form solids, gases, or liquids. Any solid or a liquid or a gas we have around us is made up of molecules, and the molecules are made up of atoms. For example, water is composed of hydrogen and oxygen atoms, right? Water is a molecule that have combined to form water molecules. We combine oxygen and hydrogen, we combine them, we add them to form water molecules, right? Water molecules. An atom is composed of two regions. It has two parts, two sections. It has two sections, two main parts. The nucleus, which is in the center of the atom and contains protons and neutrons. And the shells, which hold its electrons in orbit around the nucleus. They surround, they are in orbit, that's to say they surround, they are around the nucleus, right? Yeah, this is the atom. At the center, we have the nucleus. This is the nucleus. In the nucleus, we have neutrons and protons. These are the shells. In the shells, we have electrons. This one and this one. Atomic particles. Atoms consist of three basic particles: protons, electrons, and neutrons. So the atom is made up of these three subatomic particles. The nucleus, which is at the center of the atom, contains the protons. The nucleus contains what? The protons, which are positively charged, and the neutrons, which do not have charge. The outermost regions of the atoms are called electron shells and contain the electrons, which are negatively charged. Atoms have different properties based on the arrangement and the number of their basic particles. Yes. Each atom has a different properties. The hydrogen atom consists only one proton, one electron, and no neutrons. Yes. It's only of one proton and one electron. This can be determined using the atomic number and the mass number of elements. See the concept of atomic numbers and mass numbers here. No problem. So again, these are the protons, which are positively charged. These are neutrons, which do not have any charge. They form the mass number. They are found in the nucleus. That's why they are called nucleons. Sometimes they are called what? They are called nucleons. Huh? My handwriting is very nice, huh? Nucleons. N-E-U-C. This is C. L-O-N-S. Nucleons. Atomic mass. Protons and neutrons have approximately the same mass, about 1.67 times 10 to the power of minus 24. It's very small. It is 0.00000, right? 23 zeros point something. Scientists define this amount of mass as one atomic mass unit. They use this term, atomic mass unit, AMU, or Dalton. Dalton and AMU are just kilograms, or grams. It's just a unit, right? Although similar in mass, protons are positively charged while electrons have no charge. Protons and neutrons have the same mass, but what makes it different is protons are positively charged, but neutrons do not have charge. Therefore, the number of neutrons in an atom contributes significantly to the mass, but not to its charge. So the charge of the nucleus, which is positive, is only contributed by the protons, not the neutrons. They don't have charge. Electrons are much smaller in mass than protons. So this is the weight. 9.11 times 10 to the power of negative 28. This is negative 24. It's much smaller, or about 1/100 of an atomic mass unit. Atomic mass unit means atomic mass is the mass of the proton. So the mass of the proton divided by 1,800 is equivalent to the mass of one electron. That is it. Therefore, they do not contribute much to the element's overall atomic mass. So, because they are quite insignificant and very small, they don't contribute. We just neglect it. We don't take them into account when we are calculating the mass of the atom, right? We don't take them into account when we are calculating the mass of the atom. When considering atomic mass, it's customary to ignore the mass of any electrons and calculate the mass, atomic mass, based on the number of protons and number of neutrons alone. We don't take the electrons into account. They are very insignificant and quite very small that we need to ignore them, right? Atomic charge. When it comes to charge, electrons now contribute greatly to the atomic charge, as each electron has a negative charge equal to the positive charge of a proton. So when it comes to the charge, the negativity and the positivity of the atom, these are contributed by the protons and electrons. Electrons are positively charged? No. Electrons are negatively charged. Protons are positively charged. Yes. Protons are positively charged. Electrons are negatively charged. Neutrons do not have charge, so they do not contribute to the mass, not to the mass, to the charge of the atom. In an uncharged neutral atom, uncharged means it does not have a charge, the number of electrons orbiting the nucleus is equal to the number of protons inside the nucleus. Usually, the protons are found in the nucleus and they are positively charged, while the electrons are found in the shells that surround the nucleus and they are negatively charged. When the number of electrons and the number of protons are equal, they cancel each other. So the overall charge of an atom is what? 0. For example, let's take as an example the charge of sodium atom. Sodium atom has 11 protons and 11 electrons. So the 11 protons have a positive charge and the 11 electrons have a negative charge. So they cancel each other. Let's see. If we have 11 positive, right? And 11 negative, and you add them, it's 0, right? It's 0, right? It's 0. Zero. These are the charges. Protons, the charge is +1. The mass is 1 atomic mass unit. Location, where are they found in the atom? In the nucleus. What about neutrons? They do not have charge. Their charge is 0. They don't have charge. Mass is 1 atomic unit. AMU is atomic mass unit. They are found in the nucleus. Electrons, they have a charge of -1. Mass is 0. They don't have mass. Insignificant. They have, but it's very insignificant that we assume it to be 0. Orbitals, where are they found? In the orbitals, in the shells. In the shells. Atomic number. Atomic number is just what? The number of protons. We don't need to stress this. Mass number is the number of protons and the number of neutrons put together, right? The number of protons plus the number of neutrons added is the mass number. So this is the atomic number. So this is a carbon atom. At the top we have usually put it in the lower part, but it's okay. This superscript here, this superscript up here is the number of protons. In other words, it's the atomic number, because atomic number and number of protons are always the same. And here we have the mass number. Again, this is carbon 12, this carbon 13. So the mass number here is what? 13. Atomic number is what? 6. The atomic number does not change. The mass number changes. Why? Mass number is equal to what? Mass number is equal to number of protons plus number of neutrons. So if the number of protons is constant and it's never changing, what is changing is what? The number of neutrons. So the number of neutrons keep on changing. Thank you very much.